dance of teleportation, the whispers of clairvoyance, and the vision of dreams lies the key of humanity's awakening. Let us journey beyond the veil, where science and mysticism converge to illuminate the path of our conscious evolution.
Thank you. Now we're going to move forward to the topic of teleportation. There are some questions that I gather. And when we talk about teleportation, what does this mean to you? Is it more of a physical movement, mental projection, or something else entirely?
Значит, сейчас начинаем переходить к топику по телепортации. Так не рассказываю всю длинную историю. Значит, у него главный вопрос: что это значит? Это воображение, это энергетика, это что такое? Как ты воспринимаешь, что для тебя телепортация?
Телепортацию я воспринимаю как, самую продвинутую практику, которая базируется на многих практиках, которые я изучил до этого.
So, for teleportation right now is the most complicated practice, and to get result in this practice helps me each other practices which I did before. Vision, remote vision, work with energy, with people and with object. И, конечно, что-то физическое.
Да. То есть для того, чтобы телепортировать предмет, его надо реально видеть.
So if you want to teleport something, first of all, you need to see real object. So no imaginary at all. Because if you want to get real coin or real ring, you need to be able to find it if remotely, using remote vision, and to know it's...
И тогда нужно определить, вот я это колечко, или эту монетку, или этот телефон, вот он лежит там, а потом он должен появиться у меня в кармане, в руке или в сумке.
So, and this real object, real coin, real ring, real smartphone should appear in my place, in my pocket, in my box, on the table, somewhere else.
То есть я как бы составляю в голове, что должно получиться.
So I make like a plan, like an itinerary. So first of all, I find an object. Then I point A, point B. I know how to use my energy, not imaginary energy, real energy, to bring it here. So,
но энергия только потом. После того, как я создал картинку, я ее использую энергетику, чтобы эта картинка получилась.
So, again, it's necessary to see, it's necessary to have a plan, how to combine, and only then you start to use energy in order to allow this process become true.
That is true. So
what they felt.
Ну, Ваня, вот.
Okay, go.
Well,
yeah, disregard.
It was me. I was like packing myself, and right, like in this area, it was like I felt a ball, and it got hotter, and then it was in my chest. It even hurt, and it was up there, and it was so hot, and I just was like screeching inside me, and I just felt it go, and I felt it go, and I right into my room, and got the coins on the bed, and then I came in, and then I just went, I felt it like a whoop sound, and then I looked in my purse, and I didn't see anything, and then I said, wait a minute, you're telling me it's in there, now show me, I want to see it now. And then I went in, and I was surprised because, like I said, there's nothing. It's all empty, not a penny. And Bob was my witness because he saw me dump out every single thing, everything, so there was totally nothing in there. And so I went, oh my gosh, yes, really? I was so excited. I was going, oh my gosh, I love you, thank you, I'm so grateful.
Actually, we like to start to learn remote vision when a person is able to read with his eyes closed at least 10 pages. So it's pretty stable result. Then it's possible to learn remote vision. So to find a book which is in California right now, for us we are in Moscow, find a real book to start to read. It proves you can trust your remote vision. Again, your state is stable, information you receive correct. And only after that, you try to use your energy in order to bring. So it's really hard practice.
It's a step-by-step
a lot of
process to
lab,
get
of course, step by step.
Interesting.
You know, spontaneously, a person can get result pretty fast.
Okay.
But we are talking about stable level of practicing,
Exactly.
of course, talking about mastering.
In the realm where teleportation merges with clairvoyance and dream, the boundaries of physical and spiritual blur. Here in the mystical convergence, we glimpse the future of human consciousness, a future woven with the threads of the infinite.
And for our teacher, in your experience, when you initially experienced the teleportation of an object or coin, and when you felt this teleportation, can you describe the body sensation? How was it like when things were teleported?
Когда все-таки происходит настоящая телепортация, именно к тебе вопрос. Опишите состояние в теле, как это чувствуется, что предмет телепортирован.
Трудно описать. Дело в том, что тот метод, который я использую для телепортации, он связан с очень мощным выбросом энергии вне тела. Причем энергия должна быть очень высокой частоты, и для этого мы всю собранную энергию выталкиваем через сахасрару. В этот момент ни о чем думать и ничего уже представлять практически невозможно, потому что это мощнейший, так сказать, выход. И вот ощущать что-нибудь в этот момент не получается. То есть ты весь выбрасываешь, ты ощущаешь энергию, да, ты весь сосредоточен на энергии. И это энергия взрыва, да. И просто потом ты, так сказать, приходишь в себя и просто проверяешь, получилось или нет. Если не получилось, еще раз.
So, you know, you understand already, it's hard to describe, but I want to explain that our method, which we use in order to get result in teleportation, involves a huge amount of your own energy. And when it's a huge amount with a high level frequency, and when this amount of energy goes through your Sahasrara chakra out, in this moment, you forget completely you have body, actually. So body not exist in this moment, only energy.
Correct.
And when you catch energetically object like coin and ring, you went back immediately. And again, you are still in a certain state of mind. And you just check physically, is the new object appear? If not, you just repeat this splash.
Okay.
Because you want to get the result. Then, like maybe a few hours later, you could feel some excitement or tired or какие-то там эмоции.
Ну, у тех, которые занимаются достаточно долго, как бы, у них есть некоторые их личные маркеры, получилось или нет. Но вот сказать...
Но не с телом связано. Но не с телом связано.
Да, ну как бы вот он как бы знает, что он достаточно хорошо послал энергию. Вот
yes, and you know, those people who practice pretty well and have stable result, of course, each of them has special marks which allows them to recognize the moment. Did they do their work properly? Did you get the result? And
just
you know, but again, it's not in a body. It's not body feeling. It's something again,
energetic feeling.
Yeah, it's more energetical feeling.
Correct. And just for as you said, you mark the coin or whatsoever to confirm that this was. What is the most distance that so far you observed that was covered from a teleport perspective? Did the coin travel from a closer range, or was it from a farther range?
Ага. Ну, как бы я понял, что вы это помечали пятачок, когда телепортировали, но главный вопрос есть, какая самая большая дистанция, на которую вы телепортировали предметы?
М, Дело в том, что на любую дистанцию.
The distance is not exist when we are talking about teleportation.
Yes, yes, yes.
Мы уходим в другое измерение.
So we are go to another dimension.
Exactly. All
Да.
right.
Это так, как когда мы используем дальновидение, то все равно, куда ты смотришь, в соседнюю комнату или в другой город. Твои затраты на то, чтобы прочитать книжку в другом городе, точно такие же, как твои затраты на то, чтобы прочитать книжку в соседней комнате.
So the same approach when we talking about remote vision. You use the same amount of energy when you want to read a book in the next room or in a nearest city or 10,000, like now between Moscow and New York probably.
Correct.
И здесь при телепортации тоже. Если ты достаточно энергии для пробоя сделал, то как бы она уходит не в это измерение, она уходит в другое измерение. Ее достаточно для любого расстояния.
So if you did everything correctly with your energy in order to get the result in teleportation, салфетку можно взять. The distance is really doesn't exist because you already in another dimension.
Вот эта точка с этой, вот такой путь, но мы же можем согнуть ее, и тогда путь вот он, тогда пути нету никакого.
Yeah.
Если мы уходим в другое измерение, то неважно.
Time and distance does not matter. Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. So, no, if you have 2 points and want to combine them in a world when there are only 3 dimensions, we need to go only straight.
Correct.
But if you use another dimension, fourth one, so
You could just
distance and
interloop.
time doesn't exist. It happens immediately.
In science and quantum physics, now we are explaining all these parallel dimensions. We are explaining these different, you as mind is an extension of your brain. You don't have to take this big distance in mind. Now, they already proved that quantum teleportation is possible. They already experiment, and now they're creating more technology towards this. But all this comes from nature and our human self. So they're using this information that is now making proof of what we're learning now, that you guys been teaching forever. That is really interesting.
It's need to forget about restriction we have in our physical world. In other dimension, other rules need to.
There's other rules. Correct.
Other rules.
Correct. Thank you so much. I wanted to mention that when you mentioned this energy flowing, and here's a question related to that. Does this affect the energy emitting when you're practicing this? Does this affect the lifespan of a physical body? When you practice so much, when you're using so much energy, can this affect a body from their life force? If you know what I'm trying to mention.
Когда вы используете так много энергии для того, чтобы получить результат с телепортацией, это как-то влияет на ваше тело, на вашу жизнь?
Ну, в общем, как бы человек устает, когда он так сильно использует энергию, но это как и с физическим телом. Если будешь больше тренировать энергию, то все время лучше и лучше будешь осуществлять эти выходы. Если ты не тренируешь физическое дело, то для тебя нагрузка в поднятии 50 килограмм – это очень тяжело. А если ты тренируешь, то 50 килограмм поднимешь запросто. Так и для энергетики. Если ты тренируешь энергетику, то для тебя это становится, в общем-то, как бы обычным.
So probably it's better to compare with the physical exercises when you go to gym. If without any preparation you try to get 50 kilos and you are not ready for it, it's really hard and even dangerous. Don't do it.
Hurt yourself, correct.
Yes, but we are talking about advanced practitioners who already got result in vision and energy, and they are ready to start to practice teleportation. For them, it happens naturally, and they want to increase the amount of their energy, so their level already higher than other people do. And of course, because they practice regularly, everything is great, and they enjoy this power, and of course they use it in their daily life also. So they see how practice support their activity.
Ежедневные
So and
тренировки.
it's just everyday practice.
So it is good to take precautions and not just start jumping onto the last stage without practicing the first stage.
Yeah, but it's impossible. It's a pretty stupid behavior to expect that, when you go to school, you are ready to follow each level. Like at least 10 years, you need to do it step by step. When we're talking about magic field, why do you expect you can get the result, stable result, just after, a couple minutes? Of course not.
Just like a child, when they're born, they have to learn how to use the motor skills and perfect this. And as they perfect this, then they start walking. Eventually, they need to perfect that to start running and then more. So I believe this is the same way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. And talking about teleportation, in 1920s, there was a medium named Carlos Mirabelli. And he was a medium. He practiced telekinesis. He also has some achievement on levitation. But teleportation was observed when he showed this in public, as he was standing on a train station, and then he vanished, and 15 minutes later they found him 56 miles down. And this was in the 1920s. There was no planes, no cars like that in those times. And this was really deeply observed and recorded for history. So there is a connection there. And I believe through this practice, one should become more comfortable and then understand how it goes. But I just wanted to mention that was really interesting.
Really interesting. I want to translate. Был человечек Мирабелли по фамилии в 1920 году, который тоже там все у себя развил, и вплоть до телепортации человека. Он стоял на вокзал, все его видели, потом он исчезал, и он появлялся там через 26 миль. Понятно, что никаких там самолетов, ничего, там через 15 минут мгновенно, так что все возможно, все классно, интересные случаи. Скажи, случай, но мы ищем, как учить.
Да. Удивительных людей много, и с ними случаются очень удивительные случаи. Но я хочу не только сам уметь это делать, но я хочу и учить других это делать. Я хочу, чтобы люди вышли за этот обычный квадрат, чтобы они шагнули в мир удивительного. Вот моя задача.
You tell us a lot of interesting examples which proves everything is possible.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who are gifted or who get such unusual ability because of some accident. Something happened and, trauma. Trauma, yes. Or because they talent and they train it, so it's possible. But my idea, not just, Nikolai says, his idea is not just to improve his own abilities, but let other people also to sense that the world can be wider. So to teach them, so it's possible to teach. We used to think that need to be only gifted person in order to have unusual abilities. But our life proves that it's possible to teach. People, they will live other life if they want.
We were going to Avengers camp and they were like, oh yeah, it's just Thor, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, no, I'm just trying to saw that one flash, bro. Like, you guys don't have to all that.
Create the reality. Let's do this. You see, concentration is very important. Unconditional love. Anybody could do this. Anybody could achieve this state.